All right, everybody, welcome into another edition of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. We're going to call this the Welsh to Welsh connection here with Coach Hatch in the middle. Coach Hatch is in the middle of a Welsh sandwich. We'll call it that right there. Coach, getting to catch back up with you. You got a lot of moving parts right here. Mm-hmm. You're going to be hosting the area tournament. You just finished the regular season undefeated, and kudos to these young men for that. And kudos to yourself, and also these young men were undefeated regular season in football, which is unprecedented. It's really extremely incredible to see that happen. But Coach, just kind of catch us up in all things Spring Garden right now, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we had a pretty good season so far. We've talked about in the locker room that, this season, the record, all that, football, basketball, across the sports, is not just a result of the work done from this year. It's a culmination of everything from the time that they were in rec ball, summer workouts in 7th grade, just the success that they had in all their seasons. So to me, you don't get to be successful just by putting in work for 1 year. Like, this is something that's been ingrained into them, and their work ethic that they've had for the past 5, 6, 7 years, and it's coming to fruition now.
No doubt. Will you guys speak on that a little bit? This, like Coach said, this didn't start overnight. This didn't start last year. It didn't start last summer. This is what we just walked through. Elementary kids out here at Spring Garden in the gym playing. It kind of started there. The mindset, your guys' character, being a Welsh carries a lot of weight around here. But just talk about the journey that's got you guys here.
When we walked into the gym, we saw the little kids playing the little games. I remember doing that. It feels like yesterday we were doing that. Coach Rat and Coach Dana, they would always talk to us every day about having a good attitude, how to act around people, and don't slack off when nobody's looking. You just keep doing the same thing when nobody's looking.
That's right.
You pretty much said it all. Hard work really gets you far in playoffs, in the regular season. So,
how much would you two guys in particular, having your dad there, your mom's a coach, your dad's there every step of the way, then having siblings above you, older brother, then Neely coming through here. How much has that played into you guys' career that y'all have seen some people go ahead of you in your path in your own household? Can y'all talk about that?
It motivates me pretty much.
Absolutely.
To be as good as them or better.
I agree.
I remember Neely and Luke coming up to the gym sometime and ask us if we wanted to go with them, and that helped us. When you don't have an older brother like that, you might not get to go to the gym as much because you're younger. But yeah, Neely did that a lot. We shot basketball a lot here with her. Just us three. We came here. Cameron too. Cameron would come with us, and we'd play 2-on-2 all the time.
That's awesome.
We'll be at practice, and I'll look out. My kids are outside, and there's siblings of the boys' teams or siblings of the girls' team or whatever on the outdoor courts out there shooting while we're in here practicing, because what else you gonna do?
It never stops.
No, and so I think that like they said, when they walk in, they see the kids see them as well. So
that's true.
When you always have somebody watching you, so that's one reason. And he talked about, Coach Rat and Coach Dana, about talking about your character and how you conduct yourself. Well, you've always got eyes watching you. And so I think that one good thing about the culture here and everything I heard before I got here was, the work ethic and motivation and just never taking anything for granted. And I think that that's embedded into the young kids because they see the older kids doing it. And so when it's their turn to take over, they've seen the path has been laid out for them. So they've seen it, and it's just able to continue to pass down like a tradition.
Coach, a lot of coaches, this is me talking here, this has nothing to do with the opinion of Average Joe's, this is Bo Starkey's opinion. A lot of coaches would be intimidated to take a job at a place like this because of the history, because of Coach Rat, the mystique, and this gym. But you took it, embraced it, and have become part of this family. What has that journey been like for you? I mean, you get to walk with these guys each and every day. You took the job first of all, and I dare say you've enhanced it with your own flavor in your own way.
I've enjoyed it. I've been grateful for it. Kind of, even though my background is not in Spring Garden, I was still kind of just this in my DNA to want to work hard. Ever since I was a kid, my mom made sure that was instilled into us. And so you don't take shortcuts. You don't do things halfway. Like, you give everything your all no matter what you do. And you continue to work at your own craft, if you will, no matter what it is. And so when the opportunity here arose, my wife and I, we talked about if the right situation opened up or presented itself, we would look into it and analyze it and take it if it was the right one. If the culture would not have been what it was here, we probably would not have came. And so, it might be nerve-wracking to some people, but to me, it was a no-brainer because what the kids bring to the table, and I'm not just talking about athletic ability. I'm talking about, you see them in the weight room working their tails off. You see them in the summers, 100 degrees outside, and they're sprinting their tails off. And that's what I want to be around. And so, it kind of tests you. It kind of sees where you're at. And I joked around with it. If I came in here and things didn't work out, then that kind of lets me know where I stand as a coach. So, but I've loved every minute of it, and I wouldn't want to go anywhere where the culture is not what it is here. I want kids who work hard and who can take coaching hard, because I know I'm not easy to play for sometimes, and so these guys can take it, and I love it. So,
Coach, to me, when I see a Spring Garden athlete, male or female, they all have the same demeanor: work hard, keep their mouth shut, head down, blue collar. These two guys obviously are the poster child of all of the above. You can sit here and talk about everybody on your team because they all are big parts of your team. What is it about these two guys right here that stand out to you?
I think that for these two guys, there's no moment too big for them. They don't want to shy away from the moment. And I think a lot of that came in. I know they were kind of thrust into this role as freshmen. They had a lot of minutes on varsity as a freshman. A lot has been expected of them ever since they were in junior high and had success there. And I think one thing that really kind of flipped the switch for them was the end of their sophomore years. I can remember them talking about nerves and things like that. First sub-region game or a big sub-region. It wasn't their first one, but it was a big sub-region game. A little bit of nerves, and when they stepped on the court, they embraced that moment. It fell a little bit short, but I think they used that to motivate them going forward. In the past couple of years, it's just like, all right, we're ready. And so they've been able to use their past experiences, and they've answered the bell. And anytime that you ask anything of them, they'll give you everything that they got. So
that's amazing.
It's nice.
Guys, I don't know where to begin. I could ask you guys a million questions about what Coach is talking about. Y'all been thrust into it early. You seen your like I said, we seen your siblings go through it. Now y'all are the ones. And Coach said, like, y'all walk in that gym right there, that means something to those little kids. They're probably gonna go tell their parents, hey, we seen Jake and John. That means something. Talk about that. Your roles have completely changed now. Y'all are the top dogs. Y'all are the one everybody looks to. How has that been for you?
I remember being like second and third grade and watching Coach Bowman play, our coach, and giving him high fives would just light up my day. And me and Jake would go home. I haven't ever told him this, but we'd go home and act like we were them playing basketball.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I remember doing that a lot.
You might not want him to see this video.
Same question.
It feels great. I meet up and talk to a lot of kids at school all the time, and they come up and hug me and ask me if I want to play tonight and where I play and all that. There's one little kid, his name's Gunnar King. He loves me, and he has a jersey and my jersey number because of me, and it feels so great.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. He may have got that for Christmas or something. Some people I've heard of that before for high school kids getting jerseys, but that carries weight. But one thing about you two guys, it's more than just Spring Garden. Like, you guys are known around the area. The Welsh brothers. I took that picture of you two guys with your backs together, and then your dad shares the picture of the same angle, but when y'all was like, I don't know, 6, 7 years old. So y'all have been around each other. Talk about that, having this journey together, because y'all had siblings that come through, but they weren't twins.
I know it's not just for basketball, but if we're talking about basketball right now, we would be outside. It would be coming a storm, and we'd be outside playing basketball. Like tornadoes coming, and my mom would be screaming at us to come in because we want to be playing basketball so bad with each other. Yeah. Same way with snow, it'd be sleeting, it'd be under freezing, and we'd be out there playing basketball with each other.
I love it. Coach Hatch does too.
It really helps that we're twins and we had that connection, especially on the court. I don't think anyone can really guard me and John if we're
That's a different type of reading each other right there. Mm-hmm. Coach, having that mixed with all these other guys that you got shooters, you got defenders, you got guys that handle ball. I mean, you got a lot of pieces of the puzzle to play with. It's got to make you feel good as a coach going into any battle.
It does. It's it allows you to go deeper in your playbook. It allows you to play with different defensive schemes. If you can only play one way, then other teams can pick up on that. They can try to exploit it. But luckily for us, we've got guys who are very versatile, who can play multiple positions. So if a team wants to key in on one, then we're able to try to use mismatches elsewhere, create mismatches elsewhere. And I think it shows up, and it's not just always in scoring, but we may have John lead in one game, and then Jake leads in the next one, and then JB leads in the next one. And so there's been probably 6 or 7 games where all 5 starters have been 8 points or higher. And I think we've had a couple where all of them are in double digits. So, that's been a blessing to know that you got guys who can take on different roles. We can kind of put them in, being older, being seniors, we can put them into a spot that maybe they've not really worked on in practice a whole lot, but they've seen how, like if I'm Noah playing the 2 or Connor playing a wing, and then John goes out, we had to move him to a post or something like that. Like they can just read each other so well, and the versatility just makes it a lot easier from a coaching standpoint.
Well, we're at that point of the season now. The hay's in the barn. Y'all guys went through it undefeated. It's win or go home now, Coach. Every day I'm answering for you, but I think I know the answer to this. Every game's the same. No matter who you play, you don't change it. It'll go up or down. But the mindset approaching the area tournament, is it the same, or does it change some, or how does that look from you from the coaching standpoint?
No, I think that you want to keep things as normal as possible. I'm not going to change the way that I go about prepping for a game just because it's an area game. To me, the next game is always the most important one. And I preach that to these guys. You don't overlook anybody, no matter who it is, no matter if it's the first game of the season, the last game, or whatever. Now, some games may have a little bit more importance to them, but in terms of game planning and prep, I approach it the same way. I'll watch multiple films. I'll come up with different defensive strategies based on what they're doing. I'll come up with a certain set of plays that I know that we might want to look at, or we'll add a couple plays depending upon the matchups that we're going to see. So it's not going to change how we do things. And I think our guys understand that these are all important games, but you're in one-game seasons right now. So we're not going to focus on anybody other than who we play first round coming up on Saturday.
You guys, seniors now, that's crazy to think, because we've been covering y'all since y'all were, since we first come out here. It seemed like forever ago, but also it seems like it didn't take that long. It's hard for me to believe you guys are seniors now, but talk about this. You're in the area tournament, win or go home scenario, your last year here at Spring Garden. Each one of y'all talk on that.
I've been starting since 9th grade, and I haven't gotten to the Final Four, and that's something I've always wanted to do when I was little. I remember watching my older brother and Chaz Pope and Cooper and them make it to the Final Four, and they lost by just a few points. And it made me so mad that they couldn't get it done today. So I'm playing for them too. I wanna get to the Final Four and win a state championship for them too.
Yeah.
Everybody in Spring Garden. So you just gotta take it one game at a time and see where we get to.
Everybody ahead of you.
Like you already said, we went undefeated, already made history, but right now we're 0-0. Like, it's a whole new season. So that's my mindset. And like you said, we're playing for past teams, and we're trying to win that ship.
That's right. Because if y'all could do that, and that would be the first boys team ever to win a state championship here. And imagine hanging that banner. How special that'd be. That'd be crazy.
And I think the good thing about not just these guys, but everyone on the team, is they're all very level-headed. There's not been, we've not gotten too high on wins, or, and I think the guys know that at this point in time there can be no off games. We came up after the Appalachian game, and I thought that our effort, and I think the guys agreed that the effort was lacking in that game. I know that we had a tough stretch that week, played a bunch of games, but the effort just wasn't there, and we saw it on film. And so when you got 5 seniors who can kind of take control of your team, and that kind of takes a little bit of the burden off of the coach, because as a player you're going to listen to your teammates sometimes a little bit more than you might listen to the coach, especially when the coach yells a lot anyway. And so came out with much more energy against Cedar Bluff, and our guys just know that at this point in the season, if you take one game off, if you take one quarter off, that could be it. And so, we're not going to put too much pressure on ourselves. We're going to keep doing the things that we do, but we understand that at this point in time, you got to attack it, and you got to play like there's not a tomorrow, because tomorrow's not promised. That's
true. Before I let you two guys out of here, I got a couple more questions for everybody. Talk about your brother a little bit. Talk about what it's meant having this journey with him, and then same for you.
It's been a lot. I would say majority, maybe more than half my points has been assists from him. He gets passes to me like I wouldn't even think about getting passes to him. He can get it to me in any way. But,
Big man with a passing ability.
Yeah.
I like it.
Not gonna lie, I usually look for John before I actually think about scoring. But if I can't score, I usually look for John going towards the goal or him spotting up to shoot. So,
he can do it.
yeah, he can do everything.
Yeah.
So,
Coach, before we shut it down, just kind of final thoughts on everything. And, we're right. It's here. It's crazy to think, but it's here. I mean, it's win or go home. Playoffs are here.
It is. Basketball is a playoff sport. This is when it gets very exciting. I know a lot of people can kind of get, because it's a long season. You go through multiple months and rough months, cold, all that stuff. You can kind of get lost in the season sometimes, but when it gets to this time of the year, there's a little bit more electricity in there, a little bit more fun and buzz, and I think that if you come out and you watch us play, then you're going to see the fans are going to be out there. They're supporting, they root their tails off for us, these young guys and girls, and it's just a fun atmosphere to be a part of. And I know our girls got a big environment with the Hazel Green game. I expect that we're going to be able to produce the same environment going forward, because our community wants to see us succeed just like we want to. So this is a fun time.
Being able to host girls and boys here is going to be special times. Y'all do it in the same days too as well, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that's correct. That's not a lot of schools get to do that. That's awesome.
We don't. And semis on Saturday. If we are fortunate enough to advance, we'll play championships on Monday.
That's awesome. Guys, appreciate y'all sitting in. Good luck to you guys in the area tournament and moving forward. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.